Welcome back to The Blueprint, the podcast spotlighting emerging leaders, bold thinkers, and game changers changing and shaping the future. Today's guest is the embodiment of quiet strength, discipline, and resilience. Aqeel Joseph is a three-time NCAA All-American athlete, a logistics and management professional, and a rising graduate from UND in the state of Indiana, home of the Indiana Pacers, and of course, son of Maloney Gardens community. His story blends athletic excellence, academic ambition, and a focused pursuit in leadership. Whether in the pool or in the boardroom, Aqeel is a part of a team. He exemplifies what it means to show up, stay grounded, and grow. Aqeel, welcome to The Blueprint.
Thank you. I just want to say one thing before we get into it. I've been watching some of your podcasts, and I'm just here to say, I'm not going to boast, I'm not going to gloat. This one going to be the biggest one yet.
Excellent. So, Aqeel, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. So how has life been going thus far?
Man, as we will say, life been lifing. just taking it one day at a time.
Nice. You know, for the audience who may not know our connection, I remember this young boy in Maloney, ambitious, being a part of one of our youth organizations. And I remembered at some point of time after doing some level of work, this young boy is saying, okay, well, he's looking to go abroad to study and pursue his dreams. Little did I know that this young boy will now be sitting in front of me here with all of these accolades. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I mean, everything takes time, brick by brick, step by step. Only God knows what we have in planned, what we have in journey. It's just trust and believe.
So, Aqeel, as a young man who is ambitious and who has dreams, which everybody has, what was the difference for you to take that dream and decide that, hey, I who's living in Maloney Gardens, a small community in Trinidad and Tobago, I have an ambition and a dream, and listen, I'm not just going to dream it, I'm going to execute it.
First and foremost, I had my why. Secondly, I have a team with me that keeps me grounded, keeps me motivated, allows me to slip up and then be like, hey, like you slipped up there. This is what we're not supposed to do. We're supposed to be like on the right track. Always trust and believe. My mom is like heavy prayer person. So just believe in God, and I have my family to support me.
Well, honestly, Aqeel, you just end our podcast episode right there. You just put everything in one. But we're going to break it down into pieces, right? Now, there's something that you said you had your why. What does that mean for you?
The reason why I'm doing this, like, everyone, as we would say, wasn't born with a golden spoon, wasn't born with a silver spoon. But because he wasn't born with a gold or a silver spoon, that doesn't mean you're going to die without a gold or a silver spoon. So for me, it's like, okay, I wasn't born with a gold or a silver spoon, but I'm going to die with a gold or a silver spoon.
So your why is basically the reason for you pushing in a particular direction.
Yes.
All right. And the reason is that, from what I gather, it is to change the circumstance of your own personal life and that of your family.
Yeah, family and friends.
Family and friends. All right. Okay, so apart from that, apart from the why, you also spoke about your mom and your support unit, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to dive deep into it because, you see, oftentimes when we see great men and women, we see the end result. And we believe that whatever they have attained in life, it is insurmountable, which means that the average John Doe can't reach there. So we want to find out about Aqeel. How was it growing up, the young Aqeel growing up in your community?
I was very antisocial growing up. didn't really like to talk to anyone.
Aqeel?
Yeah,
What?
wasn't that like kiki kaka kind of person. I'm more of a close knit person. So once like I really gel or really bond with someone, like I'm there for life. For me is I would go to the ends of the earth for someone. So that's what I look in for someone towards me. So I'm just grateful to have that friends and family and support staff.
Right. So, okay. So, young Aqeel growing up in Maloney Gardens would have gone preschool, primary school, and then to secondary school
Yeah.
here in Trinidad. And you have been focused, and you would have had that support and that community backing,
Yeah.
right? Now, it's one thing to have that dream and that aspiration, but one of that thread that kind of is woven into your life is one of resilience.
Yeah.
And why I say resilience is because as we progress in the conversation, the audience would realize it's not just a young boy deciding that, I want to go to the States,
Yeah.
right? I want to swim, right? This is a young boy who have been doing remarkable work. And the silly thing about it is that your accomplishments and your successes, it's what we know now. But along the way, as you traversed, you spoke about already being the quiet child, the
Yeah.
antisocial child, but yet still you surpassed those things
Yeah.
and still went ahead.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, long story short, I never see mommy just quit on me. I never saw daddy quit on me. I never saw friends quit on me while the times got rough. So why would I quit on myself? Like if they believe in me, why can't I believe in myself?
Okay, and mommy and daddy seems to have been playing and continues to play a significant role.
Very.
Very. So tell me about mom and dad in terms of growing up, in terms of what are they a part of that support. What are some of the lessons that you would have learned from them?
Well, moms always used to say that she wouldn't, quote unquote, cut off her nose to spoil her face, but she used to do it. She used to do it. They used to leave themselves undone to make sure that I had just enough to survive. Dad working, then dad retired. Mom wasn't working. Her little side hustle is like cookery. So she's a wizard in the kitchen. Well, I never saw them give up. They every day training, any training session, if not both parents, one parent is there. Almost every national competition that I've been a part of, if not both parents was there, one parent was there. Like so much so like I'll be at university and I used to be swimming competitions and I used to be calling my mom after me like, damn, I wish you guys were there. Like I miss that. Like a lot of people take that for granted, but knowing that you swimming, you having a training session, or you're even competing, and you look up in that stance and you see like one person, you're 100% sure, no, they're there to support you. It's a warm feeling.
I don't believe people really and truly appreciate that. So let me give you a little story about my own. So I in my family, I'm not the sport person at all. You can see that. But my brother, he was a footballer in my household. And I remember, constantly when he speaks about my dad, he says that, one of the things, his fondest memories, he probably can't even remember him scoring a goal because it never happened. But one of his fondest memories is that when it was his practice and when it was his the match, daddy was there. And he said what was also even profound as well is that, what was even more profound is that, the role that he played with the other persons, because while the other players' parents weren't there, daddy was there rooting for them. And it's at those points he appreciated the importance of being present and giving that support.
Yeah.
So jumping back to you now, Aqeel, competitive swimming is not an easy feat.
No.
And as a matter of fact, I believe from our little research, swimming is one of the more difficult in terms of sports,
Yeah.
right? And you're a young person, a young athlete. How has swimming and participating in competitive swimming in particular, how has that framed your mindset as an individual?
It forced me to look at things at a different light, first and foremost. It really helped me to mature. It showed me team, but also selfishness at the same time. Team in the sense of, okay, there are 4 people to make a relay. It doesn't matter like what leg you go at. Like you got to go above and beyond for team, either is school or country or club. Individual and selfishness in the sense of, okay, you up on that block for a particular race, you might have 3, 4 friends like next to you, but like everything else leading up, friends. But the moment you hit that block, it's for you. Like, I'm not gonna dive in and be like, okay, I'm cool with Tom, I'm gonna let Tom win. Or I'm cool, I don't like Jake, so I'm gonna let Tom beat me and not let Jake win. You know, it's like, okay, like everyone is friends, everyone is cool in and out of the water, but the moment you step on that block, it's every man for themselves, basically.
Okay. And, in terms of the actual swimming, right? So we
Yeah.
have reached that point. There is an aspect of it in terms of the training part,
Yeah.
right? And being consistent and the types of sacrifices. Because, okay, let's face it, right? In any athlete's life, the world only zooms in to the end moment. That either Olympic swim or that competitive swim where, you touch and you win. But, we don't appreciate what goes into that
A lot of dedication.
and commitment.
Yeah.
You understand, and discipline. Nice, nice. So now we have reached the pool. We have won our races, so much so that we are 3-time NCAA.
Yeah.
Right? What has that experience been for you like?
It's been a roller coaster. It's really been a roller coaster. I remember the first time I actually qualified to compete at the NCAAs. It was for a relay alternate. I didn't wanna be a part of it. I didn't want to go there just to be a relay alternate. It's just something about Trinidad culture. Coming from Trinidad or coming from the Caribbean, where you go to compete at regional games, we rarely used to carry someone for a relay alternate. Like back then, it was either you make the cut and you make the team or you stay home. So I was still in that mindset. So when they've told me, yeah, okay, you're going to go to your first NCAAs, we're going to carry you for a relay alternate, it was a lot of mixed emotions. I had a lot of phone calls back home to my club coach, parents, friends, family, speaking like basically, hey, I just don't want to swim. Like, I've never been through this before. Not that I'm scared or anything, it's that I don't think that I'm deserving to be there because I didn't make it on my own. Like basically a relay alternate is that you didn't make any qualifying times, but you have, if they put 4 people to swim a relay, you get to go. So that was me. It sucks to be a relay alternate at the NCAA level. You don't get no gears from NCAA. You don't get nothing.
So tell me, because that's actually very interesting. So, all right, you have in your mindset something that hold dear, which is our culture.
Yeah.
We want to be no alternate.
Yeah.
Right? It's either in or out.
Yeah.
No 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing. But yet still, you did it.
Yeah.
What was that? What did you learn from that experience?
First and foremost, you could never be bigger than the program. You could never be bigger than the program. And some persons, especially in the US and even around the world, look at relay events with more hype than individual events. I had an opportunity to compete in my first NCAAs, in my first relay, and potentially win it, which we did. So I just had to look at it from that aspect and just grab the opportunity with both hands because after looking at it, knowing how much people would have been elated to be in that position, I should have been a little more grateful.
I guess there's beauty in hindsight.
Yeah.
But so take. I'm very intrigued about this, right? So you have an opportunity to go, right? And really and truly to be a water boy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, to be a water boy indeed.
Right? And you adamant. You say that, here's I ain't going nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And you made your phone calls and you would have gotten, I guess, advice. Right?
Yeah.
And but what I want to know, we get advice on many things.
Yeah.
Some in support, and some say, Aqeel, you're damn right, it's either they take you or
Yeah.
not, right? But you opted to take the advice that went against, I guess, your innate feeling.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
As I said earlier, you can't be bigger than the program. And I think then and there, for me, I didn't think that I was worthy enough to swim there. I didn't think I knew what I have yet accomplished until after swimming it. So for me, it was like I was still stuck in that like Caribbean mentality, either I in or I out, and not like looking at the bigger picture. Like to be a relay alternate, you're going on a free trip, but you don't have to swim. You're not guaranteed to swim. You're just there basically just in case if someone gets injured, you could swap in. If something happens on the day, someone's falls sick, someone has a virus, you could fit in that particular event or relay.
So, did you swim in that?
Yeah, no, I was guaranteed. Coachman told me before, he was like, you're going for a relay alternate, but you're going to swim this event. So I knew beforehand that I was swimming that particular relay.
All right. So there's something, though, that you said, which many young persons, actually any individual any average individual, myself included, there comes a time where you feel that you don't belong. There comes a time where you feel that you do not deserve that which you are either getting or in it now.
Yeah.
And you have reached a stage in your life where clearly you have bypassed that.
Yeah.
That feeling of not belonging, and how did you navigate that? And in your navigating that obstacle, what caused you to go beyond it?
Okay. I would say that all started with COVID. Like, truth be told, I was a walk-on on the swim team.
And what you mean
walk-on is that my times weren't as of standard. I wasn't like the fast man or the top guy there. I actually came in the middle to the bottom half of the pack in 2021. I mean, anybody could have beat me at that point. Like coming off of a year of not swimming, like I actually used my 2019 times for college in 2021. In the addition of that, I had two people from Trinidad and Tobago who were swimming then, having the seasons of their life, having the performances of their life, vouching for me and knowing me. Because in life, like a lot of people would realize, you could have so much accomplishments, you could have so much experience and whatnot, but it's really connections that get you so far. Like they were vouching for me. So I had that pressure. I had that pressure and expectation of myself, of where I was and where I wanted to be, and that there were people that basically stuck their names out for me. So I had something to prove, and I just was not living up to that hype.
So it is your sense of wanting to ensure that you didn't disappoint those that kept you going.
Yes.
Okay. So that was your why.
Yes.
Interesting. And I guess, one of the things that people don't accept and appreciate is this. If Aqeel, at that point of time, accepted what he believed for himself, which is that I shouldn't be here, right? I shouldn't go. Look at how many things not only Aqeel would have lost out as an individual, but your family, your friends, those that would have vouched for you, and even the state of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is the alternate side of not pushing forward. You understand? Not getting rid of the noise, because that's what it really is, and fear. Not pushing yourself beyond that to ensure that, hey, regardless or not, I would either one have learned from the experience or I'll get through. You understand?
Yeah.
But there's something that since the commencement of our conversation to now, that stands out with regards to you. For me, it is your sense of community. It is your sense of, as much as all of the accomplishments is for you, Aqeel Joseph, I guess that's in your prime time, if you were to have an award and dedicate it, it really and truly be a dedication. All your accomplishments are dedication to your family, your friends.
Yeah, 100%.
And for many people, where we live in a society of drink water, mind your business, or that is not my business, that is them, and that kind of thing, that sense of community is actually unique.
Yeah.
Yes, the support through your parents, and obviously in terms of how your parents would have brought you up, right? But why is community important for you?
Because at the time of my lowest, or at anyone's lowest, like, the world, especially the internet, could be extremely harsh to you. But it's really those people that are close around, those friends, those families, even like well-knit, or just, okay, yeah, I know Aqeel for 3-4 years, I haven't spoken to him as much, but we could have a proper conversation, is those people that really just hold you together. Like, for me, growing up, my mom had always like embodied in me that I don't ever feel like you're better than anyone. So for me growing up, like, for the person, the same kid that's out on the block to the same doctor at the hospital, I'll speak to all of them the same. I'll speak to everyone with the same respect. I'll hold everyone at that same high standard. And with that, I just get that love and support all around. So I'm grateful for it.
Okay. So we're going to pass the baton on,
Yeah.
if you're running a race. But I mean, we're going to change segments a little bit. So you're currently in the ready to execute company, right?
Yeah.
Which is a logistics and management.
Yeah, supply chain logistics.
Correct. So a swimmer who's doing logistics, how did that happen?
So going into my second to last year in college, I needed to think of something outside of swimming. One of my friends, Kale, he always told me his biggest regret was he did not do an internship during college, because when you graduate, they ask you for said experience, and you never had said experience because you're just focusing on school and swimming. So he was like, if it's one thing that he could have told me was to at least get an internship, something related to either your major or your minor. Supply chain and logistics just happened to be my minor. So at a career fair, they were one of the companies that stuck out. They are a young company, I think like 4 years in the making. So they took a chance on me, I took a chance on them, and there's no regrets up to this point.
So I want to just pick your mind a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I will be honest with you. The only time I learned about internship was in my pursuit of medicine. So when you finish your 5 years, and well, we didn't have a choice, it's mandatory.
Yeah.
You have to do internship, and then you're a fully qualified doctor. And in the United Kingdom, internship is a big thing. They more refer to as apprenticeship.
Yeah.
The apprenticeship program. And well, now I guess in the United States they have the internship. What, from your experience, by the way, how long was your internship period?
My internship was 12 weeks. It was like a summer.
All right,
Yeah.
a summer period,
Yeah.
right? What value do you see in programs like these or opportunities like these?
My internship holds heavy weight, heavy value, because, as I say...
So, sorry, one
Okay,
thing,
yeah.
actually, for the benefit of our audience, first tell us what what is an internship, and then tell us the value of it.
Okay, an internship is basically you going into a particular job. So in my case, was ready to execute R2X, and they taught me the whole company. So within those 3 months or that 12-week period, I learned sales and logistics, I learned billing, I learned everything, like every technical aspect of it that I could possibly do, they taught me. Because the purpose of an internship is for you to transition into like a role of either part-time or full-time job at the current institution.
Right.
So they basically prep you as if, okay, after this internship, I'm going to resume or I'm going to work here full-time, part-time. They don't have to teach you because you already learned everything.
So let me ask you, so with this internship, was it a paid internship?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
No, because why I ask is because there are internships or opportunities where you are not paid,
Yeah.
right? But you were paid, so
Yeah.
I'll move on from that. But I want to get to a particular part though, which is that you have been talking your learning lessons, sales, billing, and all of those different things. These are learning lessons that, yes, you were taught it at the university, but you're getting the practical skills, right?
Yes.
So that's the opportunity that you would have gotten
Yeah.
for it. Because what I want to get from what I want our listeners to appreciate is that there comes a time in life where you're not going to always be paid for something, or you may not be paid for what you are worth, meaning that I'm pretty sure what you were doing, there was somebody else there doing who's full-time and doing almost exactly what you were doing.
Yeah,
right?
correct.
However, you got something that I guess that they would, you got something, which is the experience.
Yeah.
And at the end of the period, the 12-week period, you had an option, which is that you could have either returned to the company and continue going,
Yeah.
or you could have just gone and do your own thing.
Yeah.
But what you got, apart from the salaries that you got,
Exposure, experience. I mean, a lot of college students, especially in the US, tend to go on that internship option because, as I said, like when you graduate college, they're gonna ask you, hey, like, do you have experience in the particular field that you're studying? And unfortunately, 50% of the people say no, because all they have been doing is going to school, doing whatever sports, if they had sports, and repeat. But especially like student athletes, what they do now is that sometimes over the summer, they do internships. So if they do one internship, their third year, they go back to school, and then during their fourth year, they do another internship. At the end, when they graduate, they're like, okay, during my tenure at my 4 years, during my last 2 years, I did 2 internships at this company and this company where I learned, or I was able to do X, Y, and Z. So that actually puts them in a better position than a student who just went to school for 4 years and have a degree. Because where someone has a degree and no experience, you have a degree and real-world experience.
So, our OJT program, on the job training program, it tends to be post-education. So it's interesting to have these programs now where while you're pursuing your studies, you're getting some experience. Food for thought.
Yeah.
But so we're going to jump back. So we have this swimmer, right, from Maloney Gardens.
Yeah.
Gone to university and is participating in competitive swimming, and has decided in his second to last year that he's going to pursue logistics and logistics, right? So what about logistics excites you?
I'm still looking forward to that. I don't know as yet. Right now, I just wanted to do something that was related to my major and minor. For me, I think the downside, which might be a blessing, is that because I'm majoring in business admin and management and a minor in supply chain management, my field is a big field. Like, I don't go in there and after 4 years say, I want to be a mechanical engineer or I want to be a nurse. And after that, sit whatever exam and boop, I automatically become this. With my major and minor being so broad, I could fit into whatever I need to. So for my logistics, I deal with basically truck drivers, so freight, but that is just one aspect of logistics. There are whole other aspects of logistics in the world. And the best part about this is while I am gaining this experience and this knowledge in freight logistics, there are other people who are seeing me gaining this experience from other logistic companies and would reach out to me. Now, why? Because I have a degree and I'm holding some sort of experience. Like logistics is logistics worldwide. It's just different in terms of what like job field or job requirement it takes, but logistics is logistics.
I like your perspective, honestly. Now, there's something that you said when I asked, so what about logistics excites you? And you said you're still looking, right? But so in your pursuit of still looking, you're still at it.
Yeah.
For many young persons, especially when they're getting into the corporate world, they don't have that enthusiasm. And because they don't have the enthusiasm, they leave.
Yeah.
Right? What keeps you going though? What keeps you?
Well, as I said before, my dad is an ex-police officer. He is living on a pension. My mom is a self-employed person. If she makes some money, if she gets orders, they take out loans and everything for me to go to school. I can't expect them to mind me in school and out of school. So despite if I like something or not, I have to stick with it because unfortunately or fortunately, it pays the bill. It put food in my mouth, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's, again, an interesting point because sometimes in life, you have adversities, you have circumstance, and as you said at the beginning, some of us are born with a gold or silver spoon in our mouths, and some of us aren't.
Yeah.
And, those of us who do not have the golden spoon or silver spoon in our mouth, we believe that we are at some level of a disadvantage. Yeah. But in reality, when we begin to examine your life, or when you reach that stage of your life where you're now looking back, you would realize that, hey, Aqeel Joseph became stronger, became better as an individual. You became the best version of yourself because of the adversities of life, because life just lifing.
Yeah, no, life just lifing.
You understand? So that I guess it's a story of life, and it's a story that us in Trinidad and Tobago growing up, the average young person, is that this life may not go or the path that you want. That's one side of it. Or, I guess in our comparison, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, and I wish. But if you embrace or you are content with who you are and your present circumstance, you accept that, and you begin to say, all right, this is my why. This is what I want to achieve. This is my objective, and this is my why. And you push towards it, you will be happy.
Yeah.
You will get the golden spoon. You will get the silver spoon in your version.
Yeah.
Nice. So communication is one of your listed traits, right?
Yeah.
And one can assume, especially where logistics is concerned, you have to be an excellent communicator. So what are some of the lessons that you have learned given your experience in logistics thus far?
Okay, so from right now, I am an account rep. So I have to deal with like dispatchers, customers, and I have to relate any problems to my after hours manager or my national account manager. So basically for communication, all we do is we play a game of telephone in the sense of, okay, is there a particular issue or a particular concern? We relate that message word for word. If we could solve it, we figure it out. We take it upon ourselves and we solve it. Ready to execute is a more figure it out, hands-on kind of company. So the only time I really and truly reach out to my national account managers is if it's something out of my control. Let's say, for an example, the driver picked up the load, let's say, of palletized water, and he's going from, let's say, Pennsylvania to Michigan. He needs to figure out if the shipper the receiver, is open at that particular time. He would give, because he has tracking, it would give roughly an ETA of what time he's going to arrive at the receiver. So now when he asks me that question, it's my job now to either figure out, one, if the receiver is open 24/7, or two, if the receiver is not open 24/7, what hours of operation does that facility run? So now I would have to look on file, confirm if there's a email chain, confirm if there is like a phone number where I could contact the receiver. And then if that's the case, I email, I reach out, they give me an answer, I pass on the message to the driver. If not, and I've exhausted all my options on trying to reach out to said customer, then is when I turn to my account manager, because those are the ones that usually have that close-knit communication with, one, the customer, and two, the facility.
So tell me something, Aqeel. So logistics is it's a high-pressured environment.
Yeah.
Right? And Aqeel, you're very calm and mellow.
Yeah.
How do you operate in such an environment?
I mean, sometimes you just gotta pop out and crash out a few times. Pop out and crash out.
So, okay. Specifically then, so you have a situation, basically, it don't matter what you have tried, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Stressed.
Yeah.
How do you deal with stress? And how do you deal with situations like that?
So especially for our workplace, we have a couple of games. So we have shot put, not shot put, I'm trying to remember the sandbar game.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have that. We have a football in the office. So we basically like, we sit on chairs and we type all day, we make phone calls all day. So
so you have the modern Google style office.
So if like one is sad, frustrated, like we could probably like communicate with our peers, laugh and talk. We could also ask for help from our like superior or after our supervisor. If not, if you're figuring it out, we could probably just like kick a ball, throw a sandbag, do something just to get that frustration off, even like get up and walk like twice and come back down and just attempt it again.
So let me ask you. So our system of not governance but operations, it's very structured. You have your cubicle, you have your 8 to 4.
Yeah.
If your boss there, make sure you're on your phone, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to your experience where it's more fluid. It's more open. It's you could go and play football during working hours, right?
Yeah.
You could go and de-stress. Though you may not have necessarily had our structured experience, what do you think? Sorry, not what do you think, but what is the benefits, or how has that experience been for you across the day? Do you see it as something positive? Do you see it as the way to go?
I mean, for me, like, I'm extremely grateful for my work setup because, we don't work in a cubicle. We work like with everyone in a row. So like you get to see someone's computer, someone sees your computer. If someone is crashing out, like you're hearing the phone call. If you're crashing out, they're hearing the phone call. So sometimes when like work get frustrated, someone opposite me is crashing out on another driver for some dumb issue. And you're just like laughing in your head saying, okay, I'm just not the only one going through this. Let me just tug it out. Or if you need help sometimes, because some drivers are ignorant. Sometimes they're not listening to you. So that's just where like a team member might come in and we just like tag team the driver and then like assert that kind of dominance in the way that it's like, okay, like I was trying to get one over on one dispatcher, but now it's him and another person. Like there's no win-win situation there. So as much as we like not work in a cubicle, we are our own little family per se. So we try to like help out each other as best as possible for everyone to get their job done successfully.
Nice. So we're going to turn to a segment which we call Rapid Blue. And what it is about is basically I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And and whatever comes first to your mind, that's the answer you want to hear. So tell me when you're ready.
Already.
All right. So you're an athlete, right?
Yeah.
A swimmer, 3-time NCAA. So what's your favorite post-workout meal?
Post-workout meal, McDonald's. McDonald's.
Oh my, by the way, did you try McDonald's chicken, fried chicken in Trinidad?
No.
Bro,
No.
you need to. You need to. All right. A quote that stuck with you throughout all of your years.
Little people never suffer.
And why is that? Why does that stand out to you so much?
Because little people, in terms of medium class or poor class, they never suffer in life because they're starting at the bottom. The only way that they can go is up. They would never lose no matter what obstacle thrown at them.
Do you consider yourself a little person?
100%.
And are you still at the bottom or are you on your way up?
I'm working on my way up.
Ah, nice. A business leader or a public figure that inspires you?
A business leader or a public figure, the public figure, does it have to be in like the business world?
No, anybody.
Okay.
And
Island Boy Pretty.
Maloney.
Yeah.
All right. So what is one thing that people don't know about you?
One thing that someone might not know about me is that from afar, I might look as this like serious fellow, but I'm just like, I'm funny, easy to talk to on a good day.
So they're half right.
Yeah, half right, half wrong.
So are you a early morning grind or a late night focus person?
Early morning in terms of swimming and late grind in terms of like whatever, business, schoolwork, anything. Like I love the 9 a.m. practices. Any training before noon, that's me. Count me in, I'm there. Anything after is, why am I still here? Is it really worth it? A lot of stuff. But in terms of from 8 to 4 a.m., that's crunch time. Like schoolwork, assignments. Sometimes like during college, I'm starting assignments 11 p.m., due 11:59. Was I busy throughout the day? No. I was just playing around, honestly. And then 11 p.m., okay, time to do schoolwork.
So Aqeel, you're actually one of the youngest actually guests that we would have had. So it's a question that I tend to ask, but I still want to ask it to you. If you had the opportunity to go back in time.
Wouldn't change the thing. Don't even have to finish the question. Wouldn't change the thing.
I'll change your question. If you had to go back in time and you could speak with a young Aqeel, let's say you probably would have started to really know yourself 8 years.
Yeah.
What would you tell him?
That I know that you're going to self-doubt yourself a lot of times. I know that things might be hard, challenging, but everything's going okay. Like, just stick to the course, stick to the script.
Do you still self-doubt yourself?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
And how do you come out of it?
Sometimes I don't come out of it until like I have a conversation with my friends. So I have 2 friends basically who I talk to a lot, Tyrese Guerra and Justin Estrada. Like those guys are my rock. In terms of, I have my family and then I have my friends, they're on top of it. And then I have other people that, like, everyone plays a different role. Tyrese, we might not like video call or talk a lot, but in times of like self-doubt or depression or mental health or anything, like I would not tell him something, but he would always message or he would always send something at the right time. And for me, that is just God working. I have Justin in terms of like, you're good, you need anything, let me know. I have another friend, Gardel. He might not be the listening type or he might not be the checking in type, but if I call Gardel at whatever hour, say, hey Gardel, like, I need to talk, he would listen. Gardel, like, I need to go here, I need to go there for this, that, the other. are coming in 10 minutes, are coming in 15 minutes. So like all my accomplishments, I give it to my family and I give it to them because they are a representation. My success is a representation of their friendly commitment, I would say.
But I don't know if you picked up what you just did there. So normally people will differentiate family and friends.
Yeah.
You didn't do that. You said that, all that you do is towards your family while referencing your friends.
Yeah.
Which means that for you, it's all in the same.
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting. And, there's something as well in terms of friends, your friend group, because those simple things that they would have been doing, it does not take much.
Yeah, it does not seem significant with a naked eye, but looking back at it, like those 1 a.m., 2 a.m. thoughts, it's like, damn, I didn't know this simple thing could have just changed my mood or to really like help me to, okay, time to get back on the right track. I have a female friend called Jamariah. She goes to school in Canada. She would always be like, yeah, you can't be slacking. I also have a friend called Dominique. She would always be like, you need to make it out because you need to mind the team. Like, you need to buy everybody cars. You need to make sure everybody's set up straight. And we would laugh and joke about all that. But all of that is just really giving me motivation inside because, like, I really want to be the person to do that. I really want to make sure that, my family members, my friends, everyone is straight, everyone around me, comfortable, better off than how we were before.
Actually, you're reminding me of myself because those characteristics and those things that you hold true and dear, I too. The friends that I have, that God, I would say, have blessed me with throughout the years, they're the ones that continue to keep me going.
Yeah.
You talk about your female friend, telling you that my closest female friend that's here, always on my back, always on my back, pushing to make sure that, hey, Jelani, you have to do this, Jelani. Well, what nonsense you're talking about? What is I afraid? And because I have my self-doubts too, right? I have my fears as well. And for them, it's nothing. It's just a call, that kind of thing. But it really and truly means a lot. And it is, I guess, us, people like us who actually going through the ups and downs of life and going through and navigating the obstacles. It is these small nuggets that God places in these people along the way that keeps you and propels you and pushes you forward.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing that I want to do, this is a tribute to friends and to good friends, and to even my personal friends, Tia, Shaquille, Cameron, Riedel. Actually, let me stop calling names because I'll get in trouble.
Just big up all the ships, friendships, relationships, situationships. I'm not in any situationship, so that one doesn't include me. But yeah.
Yeah. So you have this cap.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about this cap.
F.O.E. does not mean foe. Does not mean foe. Family-oriented empire.
So why this name and tell us what it means to you.
Okay, so family-oriented empire is basically my livelihood, my story. As a kid growing up, I always wanted clothes that unfortunately my parents couldn't have purchased for me. So for me, I said, why not start a clothing brand and make it affordable for the people just like me? Like everyone wants to wear Dior, everyone wants to wear Gucci because of the material, but why not everyone wear F.O.E. with the same or better quality at a cheaper price?
You know what amazes me with you is your boldness. Because here, so that's what you thought about?
Yeah.
I'm going to narrate to you to tell you, well, not to tell you, but to really show you another point of view. Here you have this young boy from Maloney Gardens with his fast self decide that you're going to hop on a plane to go to the Big Apple, to the United States of America, go on in the people pool, swimming in the pool, winning their races.
Yeah, playing my part.
Playing your part, right? You decided, all right, you're going to internship, you're going to do a degree, decide as well that you're pursuing your master's. And in the midst of all of that, right, you decide that, you know what, I like clothes. I want to make sure that I look in, dapper and proper. You understand? So you know what? I'm going to the branding. I'm going to bring out my own clothing wear. Aqeel, how does somebody do that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask you one question. If you see one shirt that has good quality material and selling for, let's say, $300, it's a brand name, and then you see another shirt not relatively in that same category in terms of luxury brands, but same quality and better material for $40. Which one are you gonna buy? Which one are you gonna buy?
Obvious, right? But you could have named this so many things, right? Have a whole dictionary. Actually, it's a ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But you decided 4.
Yeah.
Why is that? No, kind of obvious based on our conversation, but yeah, why?
Family-oriented empire, it's like there's no words. Like a lot of people could interpret it in all different ways. It's honestly self-explanatory in terms of my life. I want to showcase my feelings and how one carry, like each one help one. Like you don't sit on a table with your friends and you have a plate eaten and everyone else hungry. Like you make sure if you're going out there, you go out there, you have enough food for everyone. If you don't have enough food for everyone, you learn how to share. Rather, everyone be half hungry than you be full and everyone hungry. That's the only way you could get loyalty and commitment.
So F.O.E is way more than a clothing brand.
Yeah.
It's a movement.
Yeah.
It's a collection.
Yes.
And folks and listeners of the Blueprint podcast, there you have it. The blueprint of Aqeel Joseph. So Aqeel, if somebody wants to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
They could reach out to me on several platforms. I have my Instagram, which is @Joseph. We have my Instagram for my clothing brand, Family Oriented Empire. We have LinkedIn, Aqeel Joseph. We have Snapchat, Aqeel Joseph. We have Facebook, Aqeel Joseph. Facebook, Family Oriented Empire. TikTok, Family Oriented Empire. Just search up Aqeel Joseph or Family Oriented Empire and you'll...
Dear listeners of the Blueprints podcast, here we have the story of Aqeel Joseph, an individual from Maloney Gardens, one of our own communities, who have decided that he wants to have a dream. And that dream was not unique to him, but it was a dream to change the circumstance of his family. And family for him means his blood relatives and his friends and supporters who have pushed him along the way. From this conversation, we have learned the importance of family and having a strong support group. We have learned about the importance of even pushing past our fears and our obstacles, only to realize that when we push way past that, it's there you're going to get your gold and silver spoon of life. So, as we continue our journey together on this podcast, I encourage all of you all, this day, this moment, whatever your dream is, push forward and get it done. Whatever your obstacle is, swim past it and let's go. Until we meet each other on the next episode of The Blueprint, I am your host, Dr. Jelani. Thank you.